welcome back to my channel and to today's video where we have my final book haul of 2024. I've done a number of book hauls on my channel so far this year, so if you like book hauls, please do go and check those out. This is actually going to be my smallest book haul. I only have 15 books. I have 2 books that are like blind date with the books that are still wrapped up, so I'm not including those as part of this video, and I really need to do reading vlogs for those next year. But otherwise it's just 15, and a lot of these have been sat waiting to be hauled. I stack books up on my printer while I'm waiting to haul them. It's the same place I put stickers I need to haul, and they've been waiting a little while, but I just haven't really been buying books lately, which is really good because it's not to say that I have not bought books in 2024, because as I say, many book hauls on the channel, you can check those out. But I have slowed down my book buying. I think that booktube energy is changing about book consumption, and that's good for me because I don't need to have as many books. You can see I've got my beautiful bookshelves. I love them so much, but I don't need any more than these bookshelves. I don't have room for any more than these bookshelves, so all my books have to fit on those. I can't keep having loads of books come into this house, hence the slowing down. I'm also going to be doing a TBR bingo in 2025, and the video for that is already up on my channel. So the idea with my 2025 bingo is that if I get rows of bingos, then I'm allowed to buy books, to just try and slow down the number of books that come into this house. But I am very excited about the 15 books I have here. So let's show you what those ones are. I'll start with just the normal romance books, which is my number 1 genre. And first up we have The Nightmare Before Christmas by Sarah Rash. I am so gutted that I didn't get around to this for this season. I'm actually rubbish at reading Christmas books, and I really should just read them like in September when I start to feel Christmassy, rather than putting pressure on only reading them around the Christmas period when I don't do much reading. This is, I think, a little bit of a Nightmare Before Christmas-esque. It's not really a retelling, but kind of esque. So we have Cole, who is the Prince of Christmas, and he doesn't even really like Christmas. He's not particularly into it. But his father is the reigning Santa, of course, and he feels like his dad has just turned Christmas into a PR stunt. But I think Cole is a little bit of a bad boy, and he's got into one too many scrapes. He's being forced to marry his best friend, who is going to become like the Princess of Christmas with him. But then the Prince of Halloween turns up. His name is Hex. Turns up to kind of fight for the hand of the Prince of Christmas. This sounds so fun. It's like nothing I've ever read, but also does kind of give the vibes of like The Nightmare Before Christmas, but into a kind of like not Hallmark, but like Netflix Christmas movie. Yeah, I'm so gutted I didn't get to this. Maybe I could just read it whenever. Maybe it doesn't matter if it's Christmas. Like, I'll watch a Hallmark Christmas movie all year round, so why can't I read a Christmas book all year round? The next 2 are part of a series, and I picked these up from Vinted, which if you're not in the UK, Vinted is somewhere where people sell things secondhand, etc. that you can buy, and I buy quite a lot of my books from Vinted these days. These are number 3 and number 4 in the Meet Me series by Georgia Toffolo. Georgia is from The Only Way is Essex, I think, which is not a show I've watched. I don't know who she is, but I picked up the first one, which is called Meet Me in London, in The Works, which is a very sort of like discounted book and other things store here in the UK. I picked it up for like £1 or £2 because the cover is so cute. I don't think I should enjoy it, but I did really enjoy it. Like, who's to say who should enjoy what book? It's a very easy read. It's not the best written book ever, but it's actually really fun, and it's better written than I expected it to be. And basically this series follows 4 friends who are tied together by this like major accident that we find out about at the end of book 1, and all of the girls are basically trying to live their lives following on from this like major incident that happened to them. So yeah, this is number 3 and number 4. So this one, Meet Me in Tahiti, is following Zoe. Zoe's in a wheelchair, so I'm really interested to see kind of what the representation is like in this one. And this, I believe, is a friends to lovers or a second chance romance. I guess it's like the local bad boy that Zoe was with kind of back around when the back of this book does tell you what happened, but I won't spoil it in case you want to read the series, but like when the thing happened. So Zoe's like, she's escaped. She's basically like escaped the town they were in. She really wanted out after the incident happened, and she travels the world, and it's been like really lovely to meet Zoe through book 1 and book 2. So in this one, it looks like she's kind of on her travels and then has to deal with the guy who broke her heart, basically. So I guess not friends to lovers, like second chance romance. And then this one is Meet Me at the Wedding, which is about Lily, who is planning the wedding for the characters from book 1. So these books are really tied together. Like, I'm sure you could read them standalone, but I actually think you would really benefit from reading them all because they are so intertwined. But this is also a second chance romance because Lily works for like a wedding venue, and the son of the owner has to come back to like deal with the estate when the guy who owns the estate, like his dad, dies. And Lily and Henry, like, they did have a sort of one night stand, but were not going to be anything, and now might be something. So yeah, as I say, I'm not sure these are the best books ever, but I did want to get the other two. I actually don't know whether these are necessarily books I need to read physically. I kind of realised after I bought them, oh, maybe I could have just read them on my Kindle, but I really like the covers. They look really cute aesthetically, and I do own the other two physically, and I picked these up for like £1 or £2 each, so not bad. It's kind of amazing for me that that's all the like standard paperbacks. Like, what is happening? So let's move on to the graphic novels, which I don't know how well you can see on my shelves, but I love a graphic novel. It's a really beautiful medium to consume books through, in my opinion. So first up, I have a very exciting graphic novel, and a big thank you to my brother who got me this one for Christmas, which is Starfire by Cami Garcia and Gabriel Piccolo. This is the 5th book in the Teen Titans graphic novel series. So this is a sort of Teen Titans brought into the modern day. The first one is Raven, which is one of my favourite books of all time. I think the way that Cami presented Raven in that book was just so well done. Like, she's dealing with a lot of backstory. You really get to grips with how serious that is, despite the fact these are not particularly long graphic novels. And Gabriel Piccolo's art is beautiful. It's in the first few, I've just had a flick through, and this one is not the same in the like monochrome scale, but each of the other books, when you're first introduced to the characters, so like Raven's, the entire color palette is basically black, white and purple, and I really like that. I really love a like monochrome kind of art style. But Starfire's looks a lot brighter, but it is all very pastel. Let me see if there's like one I can kind of show you. So it is still very pastel vibes. I am not necessarily like a massive superhero fan, but I did used to watch the Teen Titans cartoon with my brother when I was younger. But as I say, I just really love this series. I'm really interested to see what happens with Starfire, because we don't know Starfire at this point of the series. So I've read the other 4 already, but we focused mostly on Raven and Beast Boy and Robin up till now. So I'm very interested to see how Starfire is going to meet our friends from the first few. And then we have Lore Olympus Volume 7 by Rachel Smythe. So most people are going to know what Lore Olympus is, but if you don't, Lore Olympus is a graphic novel series about Hades and Persephone, but it is a retelling, so it kind of brings them into the modern day. For example, Hades is king of Underworld Corp, so like a business rather than the underworld. And there's cell phones and there's fast cars. This series deals with a lot. There's a lot of trigger warnings, okay? If you do not want to read about very harrowing things, please make sure you check the trigger warnings for this. But I just love this series. And I actually, at time of filming, still have not read Volume 6, which is mad. I mean, obviously I've not read Volume 7 either, but I've still not read Volume 6. And honestly, these do take me a while to like want to get to, because I don't want to be without reading a Lore Olympus volume. But obviously I could read 6 and 7. The other thing I would say actually is that I think there is benefit to reading the volumes back to back, because you get left on a cliffhanger at the end of every volume. And I don't necessarily remember what's happened already. I just remember vibes. I just love the vibes. The artwork is also really beautiful. It took me a while to get into it. I was actually watching Gavin Reads It All's videos recently, and he was saying he read the first one and then DNF'd them because he didn't really like the art style. And it took me a long time to get round to the art style, but now I'm like in it. I love it. The only thing I would say with these is it is quite complicated. There's a lot of characters. You have to really know your Greek mythology, I think, to fully enjoy these. I have made a spread in my 2024 reading journal of the like family tree for this, because there's just too many characters to follow. So it will be fun to read some volumes with the family tree alongside it, so that I can actually be following who everyone is. And then we just have some special editions, because if there's anything that I will immediately pick up without knowing if I'll enjoy it, it's a special edition. But here's one that I'm expecting I will enjoy, which is Daydream by Hannah Grace. This is the Works special edition. I'm pretty sure this is the Works one. I feel like every store released a special edition for Daydream, but I think this one is from the Works, but if not, it will be from Waterstones. I love the sprayed edges of this. I'm just gutted that I don't have matching editions. Like, this is the third one in the series. Wildfire, which I do have from the works, has pink and orange, like ombre sprayed edges, and Icebreaker doesn't have any. So it's a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. They don't sit together on my shelves anyway, due to the rainbow. So I love this series by Hannah Grace. It's a sports romance and it's set at college. I actually don't typically like reading books about people at college because they just seem a little bit too immature based on where I'm at in my life, where you kind of want to shake them and be like, this won't matter in 10 years. But that's just showing my age. But actually, I think Hannah writes these characters really well. They do feel, yeah, a lot more tolerable for me to read. And actually, I think, like, I really enjoyed Night Shift as well, which is also about college people. So I think if the characters are written a certain way, I can still really enjoy it. So in this one, we're going to be following Henry, who we know from book 1 and book 2, and I think is probably universally one of the most liked hockey players. Whilst it's not explicitly said, Henry is, we're pretty sure, neurodivergent. And so I think spending a whole book with Henry is going to be like a really nice representation to see. And then this one is also the book one because the first one is very much just sports romance. The second one is like what's it called, like summer camp, which was very fun. But yeah, this one is the one for the book people. And Hallie is another student that Henry ends up kind of being in class with, and Henry is really struggling with keeping on top of everything. He's become captain of the hockey team, which we know from book 2, and he's also like really now, you know, there's higher pressure when you're captain of the hockey team and you've got to pass all your classes, and he ends up kind of falling in with Hallie, who is going to help him with getting through class, but he's maybe going to return the favour in some other ways. I think this will be really fun. I believe in this one the smut scenes are not until way further in the book, whereas they're a real focus of book 1 and book 2, especially book 1. It is a big part of book 1, so I'm really interested to see how this one differs, but I really enjoyed the first 2, especially Icebreaker, so can't wait to get into this one. Now we have my special edition hardbacks, and first up, I have not even opened these until this video, so I'm excited now to have a look at them with you on camera. These are the special edition Caraval series. I got these from Amazon. I'm not sure if they were available in other places, but yeah, I got them from Amazon. I've only read Caraval, and I don't see myself getting rid of my original Caraval books because I tabbed Caraval. They're actually there, like on my shelves. And I plan to tab Legendary and Finale. So I bought these just so that I had them in case this became like my favourite series of all time, then maybe I would like to have a second edition. But saying that, like, I did have the special editions of Heartstoppers, which no book series will ever beat Heartstopper for me, and I got rid of them because I prefer my paperbacks. So it may not be the case that I keep these, but I wanted to have them for now, and we'll see what happens. There are many special editions of Caraval. Like, I think that there are special editions in Waterstones, which are with black covers, which are really pretty as well. But these like white and red versions are really reminiscent of the Twilight special editions. They're paperbacks. They are white with red sprayed edges, and I do have them, but my mum can't find them right now, so I'm hoping that she finds them because they're at my parents' house. But these are really reminiscent of these, I think, which is why I wanted to pick them up. So here is Caraval. So they're white with a red foiling, red sprayed edges. They are very cool. Oh my goodness, the end papers. Okay, so the book is a plain hardback, but with like the red foil, we've got a little snowflake there. But the end papers, wow. Oh, they're so cool. I love the art. That's actually like very helpful for me to like imagine the characters. Wow, they are so cool. I don't know if they have any other, the writing is so big. It's so big. Okay, the end papers are the same on the back. So that's Caraval. Then we have Legendary. My lighting is not good enough today to like really capture the font. Okay, same end papers. Okay, so they are, and it's got like the same snowflake on the front. So they are basically the same. Yeah, I don't know. Do I need these? I don't know. And then this is Finale. Pretty pretty. Little bit like the dust jacket was not folded properly on that one, so that is a bit frustrating. I'm trying not to like read into them too much because I have only read Caraval. And this is Spectacular, which has got a really beautiful back cover. Again, I'm going to try not to read it too carefully because I haven't read it yet. Oh, there's a drawing here. That's really pretty. It says, have a great holiday. That's really nice. They're like exclusive. Oh, cute. Oh, this one actually has exclusive drawings throughout it. Look. What's her name? Scarlett and Julian. Do the others have? The others don't appear to have the same exclusive drawings throughout. This was kind of all worth it for Spectacular though, because that edition is spectacular. Wow, that's so pretty. But I don't know, are those drawings in it normally? If you have the normal edition of this, Beth, could you let me know? And it comes in this really cute red box. So yeah, I'm gonna keep them for now because until I've read the other ones in the series, I think I don't really know. But I did just get them, so I had them because I knew it was going to be the kind of thing that people would resell for stupid amounts of money, which is unfortunately what happens with a lot of special editions. So I was like, I'm just gonna get them, so I've got them, and then if I decide to sell them on, I will. Next up, we have another book where I got it just because I knew that if I decided that I wanted it in the future, it would be going for stupid amounts of money, and that is Howl's Moving Castle by Diane Wynne Jones. This edition is gorgeous, but I didn't pick up the second one because I then was like, no, that's silly. You haven't read the first one. You can't have them all. So I did decide to just be restrictive and just get this one. I'm going to say something quite controversial, but I've not even seen the film of Howl's Moving Castle. And it's not that I don't like Studio Ghibli. Like, My Neighbor Totoro is one of my favourite things ever. Like the stage show, but I'd only watched the film like for the first time last year. Whereas Spirited Away, I've seen quite a few times. That was like the one that my dad showed us. But yeah, for some reason, this was just not one I've seen, but this edition is gorgeous. So we have the beautiful dust jacket. The end papers match really well. This is a Fairy Loot edition. They match so well, which I do love to see because I don't like it when they don't match. And then the end papers are a blue sky, and the naked hardcover is really gorgeous as well. Yeah, so fun. At the back, oh yeah, it says Diana Wynne Jones on the back. So pretty. So as I say, this is not a story I know. So apparently it's, oh my gosh, I've just seen that there's an alternate dust jacket. And I know that a lot of you don't like people on a dust jacket, but I really do. So pretty. Oh, that's absolutely stunning. Okay, I think this is like one of the prettiest editions I own, to be honest. So yeah, this appears to be about somebody called Sophie who needs some help, and because she attracts the unwelcome attention of the Witch of the Waste, and so she goes to the only place she thinks she can get help, which is a moving castle. Howl, who owns the castle, is only satisfied by the hearts of young girls. So there you go. But yeah, this is so pretty, and I really, I would like to be at a point where I read books before I buy the special editions. So I'll give an example of this. The fine print, the special editions that Fairy Loot, that series, the Dreamland Billionaires series by Lauren Asher, I was like, these are some of the prettiest special editions I've ever seen, because they are basically Disney retellings. They have like a Disney castle etched out on them. So pretty. But I was like, no, I'm going to be strong and I'm going to read the fine print to make sure I like it. And I didn't like it. So therefore I don't need the special editions. So I'm going to try and be a bit better about that in 2025, but we'll see. Anyway, hopefully I'll love this. This is a very beloved book, so hopefully I've not been steered wrong. Next up, we have a Waterstone special edition, which is Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. I ordered this just because I got like an Instagram ad for it and I was like, that sounds like my kind of thing. It's like cozy fantasy, but like a sort of cozy romancy, because I have to say I'm not a massive fan of Legends and Lattes, and this edition is so beautiful. I was like, I'm gonna have to have this. I have pre-ordered the second one, but it doesn't come out until quite late in 2025, so there's no reason, apart from the fact this is a really autumnal book, there is no reason why I can't have read this before the pre-order comes out, to make sure that the pre-order is not, I could just cancel it if I decide I don't like it. But I'm hoping I love this because it really sounds like my sort of thing. So this edition is beautiful. I love that Waterstones is really upping their game with special editions. So the cover is gorgeous. We've got this beautiful gold foiling. Oh, isn't it so stunning? And I love that, again, I love a sprayed edge that matches the cover. And then the end papers is also pen signed, which it doesn't bother me, but it's like nice to have. The hardcover is just blank, but the end papers are like these stars, and there's the signature in gold pen, which is very, very cool. That's really beautiful. So this one is about Bella, who is a witch, but she's not really massively in control of her powers. She's trying to keep it a secret from her like mortal boss of the bookshop that she works at. But for her 30th birthday, she's summoned by a coven, and she has to do a trial to test her ability as a witch, bearing in mind she's been hiding her witchy powers. So she's only got a month to sort things out. So suddenly she's having to put focus on this, and she's getting a lot of help from the women in her life, an unlikely mentor figure, and even an infuriating coven watchman who's sworn to protect her. And then it says, with found family, a dash of romance, and an uplifting message about self-love, Rewitched is a cozy autumnal fantasy that will leave readers spellbound. And I think that as somebody who is not very good at self-love or believing in myself or anything like that, it would be really good for me to read a book like this. Annoyingly, yes, it's an autumn book that I should have read in autumn and didn't. But you know why? Because it was sat on my printer waiting for me to film this video. So next up is a Fairy Loot romantasy book. I'm going to guess that I did an unboxing video for this. It was the last Fairy Loot book that from the romantasy subscription that I got, and I have now unsubscribed. I love being subscribed to Fairy Loot. I love a book arriving every month, and they're so beautiful, but I don't read them quickly enough, and I don't feel I can justify being subscribed when I'm not reading them. It is frustrating because if I was subscribed, I would be able to access a lot of the like pre-sales and that kind of thing. And I was really lucky. I got on the Fairy Loot romantasy subscription like straight away. And I know a lot of people have been waiting a really long time to be on the subscription, but I just didn't feel, after like 5 boxes, and I still hadn't read any of them, I just didn't feel I could justify, and it was exactly the same when I was subscribed to YA. I have signed up for the waiting list for the epic fantasy, which, why do I think I'll be even better at that than I am at anything else? I don't know. But I like to be in on the hype, and then once I've had a few of them, I can decide if I don't want to have them anymore. But the thing is, so many of my favourite like special edition books are available through the Fairy Loot subscription, so it's really like gutting to not be involved. But until I'm a better reader than I am right now, I don't feel I can be subscribed. And also you can pick up most of them on Vinted, so I kind of figure like if I see one that I think I would really like, I will just try and get it on Vinted. The annoying thing is that you often have to pay through the odds to get a book on Vinted. There'll be some that you can pick up for less than market price, and some that are a lot more, but I think overall that would probably still work out cheaper than being subscribed. Anyway, but this is Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So Rosie loses her father, goes to a castle to find him. That's all the same as normal Beauty and the Beast. And then when she finds her father, she meets these enchanted people, and there's these 4 princes who turn into wolves every night, and that's going to keep happening until they find their one true love. But it seems like the more time that Rosie spends with them, that actually she's the one true love of all 4 of them. I have never read a reverse harem book, so I'm like very interested to see if I would like this. This cover is stunning, and I believe this is the first in a series, right? A lot of romantasy YouTubers that I watch were like very excited that this was in the Fairy Loot romantasy box, and have like loved this book. So actually, even though it doesn't really sound like something I would usually choose to read, I'm really interested to see if I like it, because it seems like a lot of people do actually love this. Flew through it really quickly, and I'm really excited about the rest of the series. Now we have a book that I think was in the YA Fairy Loot box that I just really love the beautiful edition of, and so I picked it up on Vinted for a very reasonable price, and that is The Night Ends With Fire by KX Song. This is a Mulan retelling, so I'm really interested to see what I think of this. I think this edition is stunning. If I don't like it, I'll be so sad, because it's so beautiful. It's so coherent, which I love. Like, those sprayed edges are perfect for the cover. We have a gorgeous gold foiling, and then the naked hardcover is so different. I think this must be what the normal cover is like, but probably in an exclusive colorway. But like, it's very random that it's in orange and the book is so blue, so I probably would have preferred it in blue, to be honest. And then we do also have an alternate, so maybe this is the original cover, who knows? There's so many different versions. This is beautiful, but like it can't compete with this, but it is really pretty, the alternate dust jacket. And the end papers we have here, stunning. And then, oh wow, so pretty. This edition is absolutely gorgeous. Like I say, this is one of the prettiest books I own. So I'm really interested to see what I think of this, because I've had I had a read of the synopsis. You can definitely tell it's a Mulan retelling. The main character is called Mei Lin, and her dad is not able to go to war. Mei Lin is like, has an arranged marriage to a guy she absolutely does not want to marry, so she decides she's going to take matters into her own hands, dresses up as a boy, goes off to war. So up to that point, we're at the same as Mulan. But it appears we have a love triangle, which would not be my number one trope to read. She has an immediate relationship with a guy called Sky, who is her prince turned training partner. Immediately friendship, really gets on with him. But then it says, Mei Lin must decide who to trust. Sky, who inspires her loyalty and love. A sea dragon with the, it's a quad love. A sea dragon spirit with the power to grant her impossible magic, or an infuriating enemy prince who makes her question everything she once knew about her kingdom, her loyalty, and her own heart. And I'm sure that's who she will end up with, and that's going to really annoy me, because I will be rooting for Sky, I expect. So not as excited about this now that I've read that, but I will definitely try and get to this year. One of my 2025 reading goals is going to be to read my special edition books, because I just don't need to keep them on my shelves. If I'm not enjoying them, other people would love to have them. I would rather get them off my shelves if I don't like them. And I have so many of them and I've barely read any of them. So the idea will be that I really do try and get through these in 2025. So hopefully this can be one of the first ones on that challenge. So the final book for this book haul is one that I was so excited to finally get on Vinted, and it's times like this when I'm like frustrated to not be a Fairy Loot subscriber. That is The Crimson Moth by Kristen Ciccarelli. I don't know how you say that. And this one goes for stupid price on Vinted. It's like 60-70 pounds usually. I did still pay more than I would have done if I'd just been a subscriber for this, but it was much more reasonable than those prices. So as soon as I saw it, I snapped it straight up. I think I bought it within like 2 minutes of this person listing it on Vinted. I love the cover for this. It's so beautiful, and I know that this one is really well regarded. Lots of booktubers that I watch have loved this book, so I really wanted to have a copy of this. And I just, look at that. Isn't it so pretty? And as I say, I love a person on a cover. So if we've got a like really striking person on a cover, I absolutely love. Just seeing the end papers, but let's have a look at the naked hardcover, which has got a rose gold foil. Oh, it's so shiny. It's so pretty. And then we have an alternate cover here as well. Oh, so I think this is what the original cover looks like, but maybe in a exclusive colorway. So stunning. And then for the end papers, it's just like such like big artwork, which I just love to see. And then it's the same, which is rare actually for Fairy Loot, but it is the same end papers on both sides. So I'm going to read you the synopsis for this one, because I reach these points in videos where my brain just stops working. So this is book one, so I need to keep an eye on when Fairy Loot are releasing the next one. So the only thing more treacherous than being a witch is falling in love. On the night Rune's life changed forever, blood ran in the streets. Now in the aftermath of a devastating revolution, witches have been diminished from powerful rulers to outcasts, ruthlessly hunted due to their waning magic, and Rune must hide what she is. Spending her days pretending to be nothing more than a vapid young socialite, Rune spends her night as the Crimson Moth, a witch vigilante who rescues her kind from being purged. That sounds really fun. Oh, I'm so sorry, my hair is like, it just will not stay in its plait today. When a rescue goes wrong, Rune decides to throw the witch hunters off her scent by courting the handsome Gideon Sharp. Except Gideon is a notorious and unforgiving witch hunter loyal to the revolution, and falling for him would be deadly. So it's like a forbidden love, which is very fun, because I've not really read, I don't think I read any forbidden love really, or maybe one in 2024. So I'm really interested to see what I think of this, and I'm just very happy to have this edition because it's so pretty. And if I don't want it, at least I should be able to sell it for an okay price. So that is it for today's haul. Way too heavy to hold for an outro, but I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd really appreciate a like, and if you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe. As I say, I will probably have less book hauls in 2025, but hopefully you'll enjoy some more of my reading vlogs. I have my new TBR bingo, as I mentioned, so if you've not watched that yet, I would really recommend you check that out, because I talk through in there my brand new TBR game and everything I'm going to be doing for 2025. I'm so excited about it. I feel really motivated about my reading right now, as probably does everybody, because it's a new year, new you, you know. But I'm really excited to kind of see how that goes, and if that helps me to get through some of what's on my shelves. But I'm sure there will still be a few book hauls in 2025. I will have links in the description to the TBR video if you want to check that out, as well as links to like other favourites and recommended booktubers and all that kind of stuff. So do check that out if you're interested. I'll also have a link to my Instagram and my Goodreads if you want to check out any more content from me. Otherwise, I'll see you in my next video.